Today is March 10th. Quick walk through my garden. Still quite a bit of weeding left to do. Still more rabbit wire to put up. I've got some lots of things planted. Cucumbers here. Still not planted the okra. Gooseberry bush in the distance there is growing quite well. Lots of gooseberries. Be mushmelons here. I'm hoping they won't get too close to my tomatoes. Tomatoes are doing quite well. Wind is keeping the jugs blowed off. They are growing quite nicely. These are some of the later ones. These are my earlier tomatoes. Almost possibly a foot tall. Looking quite nice. Most of the fencing from last year's tomatoes has been removed. Started some mulch in this area. It did not get mulched last year with the wood bark, mostly just straw. The area that is mulched there had nothing. Watermelons are planted there. Squash at the end of these rows. Most likely green beans on the fence on this side. More mushmelon in this area. I'll try to keep most of the vining stuff in approximate areas I won't be walking near as much. This will be planted in sweet corn. Not got that far yet. This will be bush beans. I have bell peppers and peanuts planted in the next one. They've been in for just a few days. Again, the lower wire is to support the plants in a windstorm. They're on this side, none on the peanut side due to the fact that they have to lay over to produce peanuts. This section is the watermelon patch. I believe I have planted it. A ginger plant. I tried it 3 years ago. I lost the roots in the winter time, so I'm trying to figure out a way to store the roots in the winter. This will be some green beans as well on both these fences. Carrots, they're just beginning to come up. Potatoes are up on the other side. Cabbage, I've yet to finish planting broccoli and other such items on the other side. That will be another project, hopefully for today, as well as put down some fresh bark on this to keep everything down. Cherry tomatoes are planted there, ready to grow nice and tall. Again, producing some small grapes this year. I'll have to prune off some. There is quite a few growing for such small plants. Strawberry plants still are not doing too well this year. We'll find out later if they're ever bears or constant producers, June producers. Normally the June producers produce huge amounts of strawberries, and since these are producing only a few, they might be ever bears. These are where I transplanted from. Of course, if you don't want them in a certain spot, they will grow quite well. This will be the paste tomato varieties. San Marzanos, Romas, etc. More cabbage. Not doing too bad. The survivors from the spring animals. This will be more tomatoes on this side and onions on the other side. A couple of tame garlic. Some volunteer lettuce growing. Volunteer potatoes. Still have not moved the black raspberry. Wild strawberries continuing to bloom. They are ever-bearers. They will produce all year. Asparagus, I've been harvesting quite a bit for such a small patch. Some smaller ones going to fern. More grapevines. Many grapes setting on. Of course, I'll have to prune them down to a smaller amount. June-bearing strawberries. Still blooming. They are slacking off quite a bit now. There's lots of berries down underneath. Wish I'd have got it mulched a little sooner. Still more blooms. Keep producing. So what do we like to see? Cabbage. Brussels sprouts in the center, volunteer potatoes, another pepper patch, lots of volunteer potatoes again. This will be the cucumber patch. Last year was peanuts. I'm hoping they'll do quite well with all the nutrients added. More potatoes on this side, onions on the end. One section of beets I planted yesterday. This side is all beets. I lifted the wire up so I could have more room to plant. I'll lower that back down soon. This will be, these are mostly eggplants. There is a pepper plant in there now and then. Since they do like each other. They seem to grow much better with companion plants and together. Next row over is zucchini and yellow squash. A few early beans, not much else to eat. The bugs are attacking them. Early peas. Same again here, early peas, early beans. Oak tree I still have to get dug up and moved. Move it out into the woods. Nice looking tree. This will be squash as well. And this as well on the opposite side will be honeydews. Garden is coming together quite nicely. Hopefully soon I'll get the rest of the weeds out and the rest of it planted.